Oh, if only these made me as cool as Peter Capaldi. I seriously thought about keeping the sunglasses going for the whole review, but I figured it'd probably be distracting. So Extremis, whatever. Episode 6 of Series 10 of Doctor Who. And I liked it. It wasn't amazing, but I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. I thought it, for what it was, and it was one of those concepts that could really go either way and really just fall apart, I thought it was well executed for what it was trying to do. And I think it did a lot of stuff really well without having anything that I thought completely fell down. Obviously, sort of the big thing, we now have our answer, what's in the vault. Missy's in the vault. Now, that's not exceptionally surprising. I think a lot of people had speculated that some version of the Master was going to be inside that vault. I do like that it didn't feel like the episode was playing that like it was a twist. It didn't really get to the confirmation absolute that that's what it was until the very end of the episode, but it seemed to imply pretty heavily as soon as she showed up, it's probably gonna turn out to be her. And it never pretended like revealing that was pulling the rug out from the audience. It seemed to understand that. And I think that kind of approach in general goes a long way to selling the episode, just presenting us with the stuff, but it never felt like it was going, ha, we gotcha, because it wouldn't have. And because it doesn't try and pull that kind of weight with what it's doing, I thought it works. I like Missy. I have liked Missy from the beginning, and I like having her back. So just seeing her interactions, even these little bits, I really liked. I love Nardole in this one. I've said I like Nardole before. I like the glimpses of badass Nardole, and I like that basically it's like the strength of this mandate from River is what gives him the power to have those badass moments. I like that. I like that connection back to River and his connection to her, which is something that it hasn't been, I think, properly acknowledged up to this point, but I like that connection being drawn. Bill, well, maybe that might be my one complaint. Bill was slightly superfluous to this episode. She didn't drag it down or anything, but she didn't, there was not much that she did that was beyond what they could have done with just Nardole. But she was fine. Capaldi was good. Capaldi's always good. I like that the sonic sunglasses came back. I like the way that they were used. I like that he was able to get information, but they didn't actually, because I saw in the comment section of my last video where I talked, I wonder how the blindness is going to play out. People are like, well, he's got the sonic sunglasses, can probably be like sonar, it's like he can see. I'm glad it wasn't something like that, but at the same time, the Doctor does have access to crazy technology that he does have some kind of workaround. I think it was a nice balance of acknowledging that, between his own know-how and the technology that he has at his fingertips, that he can come up with something, but that he is still handicapped by this, and it's still going to hold him back and be a detriment. I think that's a pretty good balance of acknowledging what he's capable of while still burdening him with this new disability. I like the way the whole reveal of the artificial world was handled, because when you have that initial setup of this document and this truth that anyone who reads it, whether they're a person of faith, a person of science, no matter what, they will want to die. That's a big mystery, and it's one of those things like, is there any answer to that that's actually going to feel like it properly justifies that reaction? And honestly, yeah. The way it presents and the way it presents the revelation, and I like that that the Doctor referenced Super Mario as his point of reference. Like, what if he realized he was in a game and he just got sick of dying and removed himself from it? That, I think that was a neat comparison. And I think it just the way that it was revealed, between using the numbers and having us realize just the full extent of what it was we were looking at, just sort of reveal and sink in over time, I think helped sell the premise. Because I think, again, it is one of those things that I think if it's not properly worked into the story, and if the information is not revealed in the proper fashion, it's the sort of thing that can just make you go, this is dumb. And for me, that didn't happen. I liked it quite a bit. I really love the ending with the artificial, the construct doctor, for lack of a better term, I'm going to do what everyone does when the world's in danger. I'm going to call the doctor, and he sends off the information, and just that grin. Capaldi is really good at the triumphant, smug moment that the doctor gets. And all the doctors have had them, but he's been really good at it. I love when he has it, just that I win, that grin and that sense of I won. And I love that. And I love just if you stop and think about it, that this thing isn't the doctor, and it realizes it isn't, but it's still going to take and do what the doctor would do and bring him in to actually help. Now, how this pans out from here could be iffy, because the first thing that leaps to mind is sort of the follow-up on the Silence. Now, the Silence I liked a lot, and we got our initial reveal of them, and I felt like subsequent appearances from them, they weren't bad, but they didn't quite hold up as much, and I'm worried that these sort of rotted cardinal-looking things, whatever they are, that runs the same risk that once we get to finding out, what their deal is proper, it's going to be kind of okay, so it's that. It's one of those things that it makes me think they'd be better off leaving us with more questions than answers, but we'll see. It will also depend on what those answers ultimately are. Now, like I said, I think that's about it. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked what I saw. I thought it was well executed for what it was. There was nothing that was the part where you go, that part didn't work. Like I said, the closest thing was Bill, and even that, she wasn't bad. She just wasn't necessary, except insofar as she's the companion. So yeah, she's there. But it was good, and it was intriguing, and it was clever, and I will be really interested to see. Oh, you know what's the other thing that I do want to single out, because I thought it was a brilliant concept, just the idea of this planet with these people, their job is to keep a catalog of every way to kill every species. That's just a really cool concept, and I always have kind of a morbid fascination with that kind of a job, where your job is something either insane or horrific, but it's just like, this is my job. This is my thing that I do. I always kind of find that fascinating, so I liked the vibe we got off that sort of executionary guy, and I liked, because it got overused for a little while, but it's been a while since the doctor has pulled, in effect, I'm the doctor, look me up thing. He hasn't pulled that in a while. I think we were due for it. It was the right time to pull it again, and that was a good moment, because it's been long enough since the last time he did that. It was like, yeah, it's on record how much trouble you're in if you piss this guy off. Don't go there. So, I think that was the last thing that I wanted to remember to talk about. So, your thoughts on Extremis, extramarital affair, whatever the heck it actually is pronounced as. What were your thoughts? Whatever they are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitter at Council of Geeks. Give a listen to the Council of Geeks podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher. And until next time, this council is adjourned.